Pro-Palestinian protests erupted on college campuses across the country, from USC to the University of Texas at Austin and right here in New York City at Columbia University. Some of the protests leading to clashes with police as students demand the universities divest funds from companies profiting from Israeli military operations.
While protesters push for ceasefire in Gaza, arguing they have a right to free speech, many Jewish students are saying they feel unsafe, with critics calling the protests anti-Semitic. Joining us now is attorney and ABC News contributor Brian Buckmire, and from Columbia University, ABC's Stephanie Ramos. Stephanie, let's start with you. Just set the scene for us there. What's happening on campus at Columbia today?
Well, Eva, right now it is calm outside Columbia University and on the campus as well. Most of the protests here have been peaceful, according to administrators. It's also what we've witnessed. There have been some individuals, especially last week, that were arrested for trespassing. But we heard from the New York City mayor on this just a few days ago, and NYPD officials saying that a majority of the individuals causing the chaos, causing violence, and spewing rhetoric have been unaffiliated with the university. I can tell you the last couple of nights here at Columbia University, pro-Palestinian student demonstrators, Jewish and non-Jewish alike, have come together for a Seder dinner to celebrate the Jewish holiday of Passover. Many of them saying they're not leaving. They're staying here on the West Lawn at the encampment so that their voices are heard, so that they can get their message across, all while the university is expecting them to come up with a plan to disperse by tomorrow.
So, Brian, do protesters have a First Amendment right to protest on school grounds? I know the president of Columbia University is under fire right now for calling police in last week to break up some of those student protest encampments. Stephanie just mentioned it, more than 100 arrests there.
Well, DeMarco, the important distinction is who are those protesters? If we're talking about people who are university students, they have a different right. They have the ability to kind of argue under the First Amendment of time, manner, and place to have their voice heard. But if you're a distractor or an agitator, and even though I think Stephanie said many of the people in law enforcement is specifically saying many of the people who have been arrested are not students, those people have different rights because they can be arrested for trespassing, and they have different rights when it comes to going onto a private university and trying to use their voice. So you have to make the distinction as to who is making the comments and where, and also what they're saying.
Stephanie, House Speaker Mike Johnson visited Columbia yesterday. What can you tell us about his visit?
Yeah, so the Speaker of the House was here. He met with Jewish students, many of which I spoke with afterwards, and they told me that they shared with the Speaker just instances of them being harassed and intimidated the last couple of weeks, just sharing what they've seen the last couple of weeks here on campus. House Speaker Mike Johnson then spoke with reporters and press and some other students who had gathered to see him. He was interrupted, he was booed, but he called on the school's president to resign. He also said that all and any anti-Semitic incidents need to stop now. We spoke with student demonstrators who were there, who were listening, and they said they would have appreciated some time with him as well to share with him why they're doing what they're doing and that they stand with Gaza and that they just want their voices heard.
So, Brian, if protesters are arrested, what type of legal troubles are they facing?
Again, DeMarco, it depends on who that protester is. If this is a student, for example, at Columbia University, who is on that lawn, as Stephanie is describing, and an officer gives them a lawful order to leave and they do not, in New York, that could be what's called obstruction of governmental administration, as well as resisting arrest. Those are misdemeanors. But if we start talking about the harassment and intimidation of some of those Jewish students, New York and many other states have hate crime statutes. So to target someone based on their race, religion, creed, or identifiable entity, all right, that can have them facing hate crime charges. And we don't want to see a situation where people are targeted regardless of their background or religion. And so that could have more serious penalties.
It's an ongoing conversation that we're going to be having for sure. Stephanie Ramos, Brian Buckmire, thank you both for being with us today.
Thank you, guys.